Plaintiffs Deborah Hanson and her son Colin say Colin rented an apartment with the defendant, and he claims bad luck follows the defendant wherever he goes. Colin claims one night the defendant was drunk and flagged down a car to help him get home, and it turned out to be a police car, so he was arrested. They're suing for unpaid rent. Defendant Curtis Vinn says while living with Colin, he had knee surgery and was unable to clean up after himself, and Curtis got tired of cleaning up for him. Curtis insists he never asked the plaintiffs to pay his rent, and therefore he doesn't owe.
Start with you all.
Well, Your Honor, I met the defendant, Curtis Vinn, about 2 years ago, and I met him at my school, and we became really good friends right away. He was a great guy. You know, we hit it off right away. We had similar interests. We were both chem majors, and we were all
both what type of major?
Chemistry majors.
Okay.
And so we hit it off really good right away. And it just so happens that over the years, me and him hanging out, we found out that he was just the type of guy that just would always be in the wrong place at the wrong time. And we would always have a joke, like, why Curtis? Why would it always have to happen to him? And it's just
like what? Give me an example.
I mean, for example, we'd party a lot. On the weekends we'd study during the week, and on the weekends we'd go out. And one weekend, I just turned 21, and so we're going out to the bars. And I'm from Illinois, and I go to school in Wisconsin. So they questioned my ID.
What school in Wisconsin?
University of Wisconsin-Whitewater.
Oh, okay.
And so
Madison is where they do all the drinking.
Yeah, it is. But we have fun at Whitewater too.
Big party schools of the country, isn't it?
It is.
One of those, University of Wisconsin in Madison.
Yeah.
All
but
right.
yeah, so we went out, and the bouncer was questioning my ID, and Curtis, being my friend, was right there with me. Come on, let us in. They ended up letting us in, and the manager got wind of what happened. He was like, well, I feel bad. Free drinks for you guys for the rest of the night. And so, college guys, we just got a little too drunk that night, and we ended up, separating ways that night. But he ended up actually just wandering around town, just extremely drunk. He was tired, and he ended up sleeping in the back of someone's car. He got pulled out, dislocated his shoulder. He ended up walking around town with a dislocated shoulder. He was lost, didn't know where he was. He ended up flagging down an officer, didn't know it was an officer at the time, and they ended up giving a ticket for public intoxication and prowling. And so it's just like, just like that, like, why Curtis, why that happened to him? I mean, another example is he was at a party one night, a house party, and there's about 7 or 8 football players, giving this one kid a hard time. And, Curtis is a good guy, so he stepped in, he's like, why are you guys giving this guy a hard time? He must have said the wrong thing to the wrong people. All 7 of the guys just started beating him up. He ended up coming back to the apartment, just cut on his cheek, his jaw, he said, was killing. He couldn't chew for like a week.
Yeah.
He got roughed up that night.
Stay in the apartment. You give me some background on your friendship and your activities.
Like he said, we met about 2 years ago, hit it off, great, had a lot of things in common, so we decided, hey, let's move in together, get a little 2-bedroom apartment. So we moved in together, and everything was going great. He unfortunately had to get ACL surgery, and that kind of...
What type of surgery?
ACL surgery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so he couldn't really move around very much, and I guess...
You're an athlete?
I am. I played college baseball, and I ended up tearing my elbow, Tommy John surgery. So, and I tore my ACL that following year, so I'm just injury prone, I guess.
Yep. So,
just like him.
Yeah, I know. Exactly.
These shows is legitimate.
Yeah. So during that time, I guess I was going out, and I don't know if it was just him being, having surgery, couldn't really move around too much, couldn't really clean up after himself, and it started getting to me, which it shouldn't have. Started getting to me a little bit. I felt like his mom almost cleaning up after him and stuff like that. So, turns out.
What are you getting to the rent that he's suing you about? Let me allow him to tell me. Tell me about the rent you're suing for. What happened?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. I mean, we had to sign a 1-year lease for the apartment. It's paid by semester, so it's a total of $3,200 a semester, $1,600 a person. And it says on the lease, you have to pay that by, I believe it's August 16th.
26th,
So,
I believe.
26th. And I paid my half, unbeknownst to me, I did not know he did not pay his half. And so pretty much October rolls around, and a little note slides under our apartment door, and it says, you have an eviction notice, 5 days to get out. And we're right in the middle of semester. And I'm just like, I look at Curtis, I'm like, yo, Curtis, like, what's the deal? And he just like, my loan didn't go through. Like, I'm sorry, like, it's been fun. And I'm just like, it's been fun, Curtis. Like, we're about to get evicted here.
Yeah,
like, yeah, and
not gonna be too fun out on the street.
Yeah, that's what I said. So I called my mother, and she ended up calling the tenant, the DLK, and they advised her to, pay his half of the rent and then take him to small claims court.
Did she?
Of course, she ended up paying his.
Mom,
yes,
you paid
I did, Your Honor.
And I have the statements
Let's see
from
it,
the.
please.
Yes.
Sir, what do you say to this?
This is the eviction notice.
I was going through family at the time. I wasn't even talked to previously about them paying my rent. She just went and paid it without talking to me
knew you
beforehand.
hadn't paid
Oh yeah, and I was going through means of getting it through
family. But did you mention to him, I can't pay my
because I had
rent?
time to still get the money, and that's what I was doing.
Did you?
At the time.
No.
Well,
not because she paid it. She paid it before I had a chance to even
have
get
you
the money.
paid it
5
yet?
days.
5-day eviction notice.
Hold on, have you paid it yet?
No.
Not at this time, no.
Right.
Well, why wouldn't she have contacted me to get a written agreement to pay her back?
Curtis,
Get
I
a
have 5
written
days.
agreement. Let me show you a
Well,
written
yeah, but I
agreement.
could've-
That's your written agreement.
No, well-
look for your name and see if
But
it's
where
written.
does it on here say that she has to cover the costs?
Who is going to? We're going to get evicted.
I was going through opportunities
Who
to get
should
money.
pay,
My
sir?
parents
Who
didn't
should
want.
pay? Judgment for the plaintiff, 1,700.
Thank
You
you.
talking big and smart in here? Go find 1,700. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I mean, he's a great guy. I mean, like I said, we hit it off right away, and it really hurt me and my mom just that he just never acknowledged the fact that he just had to pay her back. All he had to do was call her and say, thank you for paying, my half of the rent. He just never did that. And
Never even got
if
it.
he
Not
just
even a
would've-
thank you. Not even a thank you.
That's all we wanted.
I guess I was caught off guard. Don't get me wrong, I do appreciate it because otherwise I would have been evicted, and I was just caught off guard. I thought I had means of getting the money, through multiple sources, grandparents or whatever.